Jack here, owner of Hockey Alley, bringing you back hockey history. Today I got a great player, NHL legend, five-time All-Star, Brian Propp. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing really well today. How about you doing?
Doing great, thank you. It's morning here in California.
That's okay. I'm on the east side, and Marker Island, Florida.
Wow, nice. Weather's good?
88 and sunny every day.
Oh, man, that's nice. Not here. It's pretty cold out here. For California, it's pretty cold. Yeah. So how many years did you play in the NHL?
Yeah, I played 15 years in the NHL.
Wow. Yeah, I remember watching you play. You had some great games. And you were in the, also, how many times did you guys go to the finals?
Well, I was in 5 Stanley Cup finals, like in 1980, 85, 87, 90, and 91.
Wow. And then All-Stars?
5 All-Stars games.
That's awesome. Wow. Great career. What year of juniors did you know that you'll be playing in the NHL? First year, or was it last year of juniors?
So I think I started my first. I had played 3 years for the Brandon Wheat Kings. We had powerful teams, and so the first year, I didn't really know what was going on. I was 17, and then when I was 18, I decided to check the NHL or pay a little more attention. And then my last year in junior, I won the scoring in the Western Hockey League, and then I got drafted to that June.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. It's a great experience. I mean, a lot of dreams out there for kids, and it's something special to get in there. I was looking at the statistics of the Flyers in 79-80. You guys had a 35-game win streak. That's unheard of.
Unbeaten streak. Yes.
Unbeaten streak. Yeah.
Because I remember my first game, we played against the Islanders at the Spectrum, and so I scored a goal and had an assist, and it was a game winner. I played with Reggie Leach and Bob Clark, and then so won. So we won the first game, and then the second game we lost 9-2, and I was like, oh my God, is this what the NHL is going to be like? And then we went 35 without a loss.
Wow. Was there any kind of routines that the players did to keep that streak? Were they superstitious? Did you guys do same preparation or not?
Well, I think that the coach, Quinn, was a good coach, and so he kind of knew what was going on. But the Flyers won the Stanley Cup in '75, and so they had veteran players. For me, I was a rookie in 1979, and so was Pete Peters. And that year, Pete Peters, played really great, and we had Phil Mayer and myself. So that's why we did well. But we had 4 good lines, and then everyone took care of what they had to.
Yeah, and you guys had tough teams. The Flyers were tough.
We always had tough teams like Ben Wilson, Glenn Cochran, Frank Braze, you name it, Mike Bridgman. We had really good, tough players and good fighters. But we held our own.
And I want to ask you, just as if you had to, you're not a fighting player, but when you played for the Flyers, did you expect to drop the gloves if it's something that happened near you? Or the coach didn't care?
Well, you had roles for that. So what I did is I bought all the guys beer, and that way they protected me.
That's awesome. What was the toughest player to play against?
Well, I think for me it was the Montreal Canadiens, because they had such a good teams, and so it was really tough. With the goalie there, the graded, really tough to get scored on, because they had 6 all-star defensemen and good teams, and so it was really tough for me to play against Montreal.
That's a defensive team, very defensive too.
Yeah, well, they were good too.
Yeah. Your team wore the Cooperalls, and Cooperalls, for out there, the fans don't know, those are the long pants that came out in, I believe, 81 or 82.
Yeah, 82 and 83, because there was only two teams that had it. It was the Flyers and Hartford. And but after a couple of years, the goalies complained about not seeing the puck too much, and so they changed.
Was there any complaint from the players wearing them? Did they like them or did they hate them?
I think most of the teams didn't like them, but I loved them. They were much lighter, and they're easy to put under the pants and the shin pads. But I really liked them because they were much lighter.
Yeah, you know that they're having those come back now. Warrior, I think CCM has the girdle, just like Cooperall. I see kids with them on.
Oh yeah. Well, it makes sense because I really like them because it's much lighter.
Yeah, and what kind of sticks did you use when you played over the years?
Well, we only had wood sticks.
Yeah.
So like when I was young, I used whatever I could, and then in junior we had Brandon Wheat Kings. I just used whatever we could, and then when I turned pro, I used a Titan.
Okay, that was a durable stick too. Titans were a little heavy.
Really heavy.
Yeah.
And, had no curve in it. For me, I was wondering how did I score as many goals as I did with that stick? I can't imagine.
Yeah, you had I think five 40-goal seasons, or.
Well, I had four 40, but it had I averaged about 30, 35 goals a year. I had 39 one year, and almost 5 in a row. But but I was really consistent.
And there was no two-line pass back. I mean, there was a two-line pass back in the day, so it wasn't as wide open as today. So for fans out there, understanding that players back then didn't have what they have today with the big, long stretch pass.
Yeah. It changed the room a little bit, because now the guys, they want more speed, but you can't hit anybody or touch anybody. It's kind of a shame because it was more physical then.
Yeah. Were there any players on your team that were picky about their hockey sticks? Any superstitious players or anything like that?
Yeah, for me, it didn't matter. I used the same stick until I broke, but most of these guys were really picky. I know that I did the radio for the Flyers for 9 years, and then so Paul Coffey, he was really picky about his sticks and his skates.
Wow, yeah, skates for sure. He was there for a little bit, I believe. I'm not even sure how many years.
Yeah, at the end of his career.
Oh, okay.
After Edmonton.
Yeah. In 1980 Stanley Cup Finals, was the overtime goal offsides? That's been a debate for many years when Nystrom scored. And did your team...
No, that wasn't offside.
It wasn't.
The other goal was 2 feet off. It was when Sutter scored in the second period, and it was 2 feet off. And so I stopped because the whistle was supposed to go, and they blew the call. Otherwise, maybe we could have won just with one extra goal and then forced the game 7.
And you guys didn't try to. The coach argued, obviously, right? Everybody knew about it on the ice.
Yeah, but it was too late. When they scored, it was over. It was an overtime goal, and so what are you going to do? You don't have replays like to do in football.
Yeah, so that's the one. Then the Leon Stickle missed it, and it was a 2-foot offside. Yeah.
Far off that they missed it.
Yeah. How was Pelle Lindbergh as a teammate? The goalie passed away in 1986, I believe it was. It was
November of 85.
85.
Yeah, he was really good. He came the same time. He played for the Mainers, Portland Mainer team, and then he got called up a couple years later. So he did a really good job. He loved Bernie Propp and how he played, and in the 80s we had good teams, and so he was just coming into his own, especially after the trade for Mark Howe and Brad McCrimmon. They were two of the best defensemen plus minus ever, and so but we played without him. With him, we could have probably won a couple Stanley Cups, but he passed away.
He was leading the NHL at the time when that happened. The whole league. Had the best stats in the league.
Yeah, I think we were like 12 games in, and but yeah, he was leading. Like he won the Vezina the year before, so he was just coming into his own.
Yeah. How was it to see Mark Howe shoot the wrist shot?
Well, he's such a strong player and shot the puck so well. But the thing about that is that he always shot for deflections, like which makes it tougher on the goalie.
Yeah.
Because like we had Tim Kerr and myself in the front of the net, and so like they knew how to shoot the puck for deflections. But he could score himself. Like his shot was so good, just a good wrist shot.
Yeah, and for people who don't know, Mark Howe is Gordie Howe's son. So a lot of people out there might not know that. That's Gordie Howe's son that played for.
They should know.
They should, but a lot of kids watch it, listening to the channel. How was it to have Bobby Clarke as your teammate? Bobby Clarke.
Well, Bobby Clarke was one of the best leaders in the world because, like, they won the Stanley Cup in 74, and 75. But he was such a leader because he made people around him better. And he told people, to get ready and be ready for whatever they needed. But he was such a competitor and it played really well. And, he was one of the best. So I copied on him with the leadership.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've seen highlights of him where he got hit with a puck and then he was
in Manitoba, and then that was in Minnesota, where he got hit with a puck and then he didn't even flick.
Yeah,
flip,
and he was bleeding.
Oh yeah, the whole time.
Yeah. Did you get to keep any of your jerseys over the years?
No, not for the Flyers because they never gave us a jersey to keep. Mm-hmm. And so, but I think in 85 after Pelly died, like they made a couple jerseys and then so that with his number on there. Mm-hmm. And so like the first jerseys that they had, like the covers lost, and so like I just got the one jersey from the Flyers after Pelly died.
That was it. So they didn't give you guys much. Wow.
No, they sold all those.
Oh, they did. Oh, I see.
Collectors.
Oh, okay. What players did you play with in the All-Star game as line mates from like any of the years that you remember? I mean, probably short time.
In 1980 was the year that Gordie Howe finished his career. The game was in Detroit, the new Joe Louis rink.
Yes.
And so Gordie Howe, I played on that All-Star game, but I played with Phil Esposito and Reggie Leach.
Wow.
As my line. So like that was kind of special for me at that time.
Yeah, Espo's a big time. He was just still with the Rangers, I believe, at that time.
Oh yeah, and so like I remember 1990 when I played with Mario Lemieux and Cam Neely. That was special too.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Wow. Here's a question I want to ask you, and you can answer if you want. So you see the Flyers were tough back in the day, and today's hockey's changed a lot. It's a lot of skill. Would you change the philosophy of the Flyers?
Yeah, well, they want to go for speed now. So like the last 5 years, it changed a lot. And because they're known as a tough team and fighting and things like that. So I think they've gotten away from that the last 5 years, and they want more speed, but it hasn't been working for them. So I would just say, you need to have a tough guy that can skate and play, that can protect the better players.
So more intimidation could work in today's hockey, would you say? I mean, just
definitely, but now
in a clean way.
Yeah, but you just have to. It's changed so much that like everything's so even. But it's just I hate to see them struggle with the tradition that we had from Flyers.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I agree. If you were commissioner of the NHL, what rules would you change or add?
Yeah, so what I would do is I think I'd make the nets a little bit bigger because the goalies are too good, and so it's tougher for them to score.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just put in an extra inch or twice on the sides.
And anything else as far as fighting? Would you try to keep it, or how about the hitting?
Yeah, but now it's just nobody wants to fight anymore,
yeah.
And they don't want to get touched, and the hooking and the touching, and it's just it's so much different because you can't touch anybody.
Yeah.
But when playoff comes along, then the better players, they kind of let the refs let it go a little bit more because that makes it more exciting.
Yeah. Did you ever, all the years you played in the NHL, did you ever see a guy turn his back? Because nowadays I see at least one or two a game where the guys turn their back, and I don't know if they embellish the penalty or not, but did you ever see anything like that back then?
Well, no, not when I played.
Yeah.
Because you'd get in trouble because they'd make fun of you. But now they want to dive and get a penalty. It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
So you just have to deal with it.
Yeah. I know you have a website, brianpropp.com, and what's that one about?
Yeah, so I have my own brianpropp.com website, and there's lots of information about things that I've got, the media, the appearances, the memorabilia, and then I also have my own cigar brand from the Dominican Republic, GaffawCigars.com from the Dominican Republic. And so if anybody wants to go to the website, they can order online, and I have 5 packs, boxes of 10, 24, and bundles of 25 for sale at a reasonable price. But and then also I've been working with a company called Millions.co. They're from Canada. So I have my Gaffaw T-shirts, hats, and my Gaffaw cigar T-shirts and hats. And if they check that website, they just go to millions.co and order from there. Okay,
perfect. So this is a great time for gifts. It's around Christmas, and they can order.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I just want to add a little bit more because it was special for me because in 1987 I played for Team Canada for the Canada Cup, and I played with Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky on a line, and it was a 3-game series. And, I was very happy that we won that because all the scores were 6-5. So the last minute of the game 3, Mario scored to tie the game, and we won the Canada Cup. So that was very special for me.
That was the best team ever assembled, in my opinion, and the best hockey ever. In my opinion.
It was right before the Russians were able to get drafted in 1990. And so, after that, they could get drafted.
Yeah.
But before that, they'd have to defect. But, the Russians were really good, too. It's unbelievable. But that series was a 3-game series because you don't see too many series they're just one game and then over. But a 3-game series was special.
Yeah, and it was fast. Everybody was moving, and even compared to today's NHL, I think that was amazing, fast hockey. And you didn't have the 2-line pass. You had the 2-line pass still in there.
Yeah, but we had the better players. All the best players in the world were there.
Yes.
So I know a lot of them because I did the radio for 9 years for the Flyers, and so I know the alumni. I was just going to do a trip to Winnipeg, playing hockey, and so I keep in touch with all of the alumni that I know.
Wow, it's great that to make it that was a hard team to make because a lot of Hall of Famers didn't even make that team. Is correct, Brian? Who didn't make it?
It was really, really good. But that year, that was the year we went to the finals in 1987, where I won the scoring for the Flyers with 28 points against the Oilers, and so but I was the oldest player on the team in the Canada Cup that year, but I learned from how to play. But I was a veteran, but I was really one of the top scorers in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow. Yeah. So great to talk to you. I want to thank you for everything. A lot of great hockey history.
Okay. All
yes.
right.
You got it. Thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.